In this talk, I will introduce our research on comparing the effectiveness of visual and audio wayfinding guidance on smart glasses for people with low vision. Low vision is a visual impairment that falls short of blindness but cannot be corrected by eyeglasses or contact lenses. There are many different low vision conditions. For example, people can have blurry vision, central vision loss, having black spots in their vision, peripheral vision loss, and so on. And one critical but challenging daily task for people with low vision is wayfinding, which means a person needs to plan and follow a route to navigate from one place to another. Because of their vision loss, low vision people had difficulties in reading signs, orienting themselves in the environment, recognizing landmarks, so that it is very difficult for them to complete a wayfinding task independently, especially in an unfamiliar environment. To address the wayfinding problems, many navigation systems have been designed to support wayfinding for people with visual impairments in general. For example, some systems can provide turn-by-turn audio instructions. And also some system, for example, the Microsoft Soundscape, generates spatial audio beacon to guide the user to the specific destination. And all the prior research mainly focused on generating audio feedback for people with little to no vision. However, different from people who are completely blind, low vision people still have residual vision and they still actively use their vision during the navigation task. This means besides the traditional audio feedback, low vision people can also potentially benefit from visual feedback if the interface is accessibly designed. And the smart glasses platform has shown its great potential in addressing the wayfinding difficulties to people with low vision. With multiple embedded sensors such as the camera and GPS to locate the user's current position, smart glasses can immersively generate corresponding audio and visual feedback as wayfinding guidance to enable a low vision user to get to her destination independently. We thus want to seize this unique opportunity and design wayfinding technology on smart glasses for people with low vision. But how can we design such technology? What feedback should we provide? Since low vision people's visual ability is very complex and it ranges between blindness and foresight, so it is even not clear whether audio or visual feedback is more effective for this population in a wayfinding task. So, to inform the design of wayfinding technology, our research aims to address the fundamental question, which is, what feedback modality on smart glasses can best support low vision people in a wayfinding task? So to answer our research question, we sought to conduct a study to compare the effectiveness of visual and audio wayfinding guidance on smart glasses for people with low vision. And then what exact visual and audio wayfinding guidance should we compare? And the good news is that there has been already the de facto standard wayfinding approaches for both blind and the sighted community. We thus started our exploration with these de facto standard approaches. So specifically, our audio guidance followed the de facto standard turn-by-turn audio instruction for blind people. And the design is based on prior navigation system for blind users called NavCog. And inspired by NavCog, we provided audio feedback for 3 types of wayfinding information, including first the distance to the next turn every 10 feet, and then the action at the turn the user should take. For example, turn left or turn right, and also the destination information such as the arrival at the destination and also the exact position of the destination. And moreover, our audio guidance is generated via spatial audio from the position of the next turn so that the user can better sense the direction that they should follow. For the visual guidance, we adapted the standard interfaces of iOS Google Maps to AR glasses. So similar with the highlighted route in the Google Maps, we generated a virtual path along a specific route so that the user can simply follow this virtual path to her destination. And we also designed a yellow star to indicate the exact position of the destination. and the star is large enough so that a low vision person can notice the existence of the star even at a far distance. And following the turn-by-turn instructions, we also visualized the distance to the next turn and also the actions at the turn on the smart glasses. Since low vision people have very different visual abilities, we also provide different design alternatives to support their different needs. One design is called floating window. It is a direct mapping from Google Maps direction instruction on the top bar. And we attach the action icon such as the turning arrow and the distance to the turn to the user's to the front of the user's eyes at about 2 meters ahead, like a floating window, and the distance updated each feet. We anticipate that this design would be very helpful for people with limited field of view because they could see this head attached information all the time without scanning around. But for users who have a relatively wide field of view and do not want the visual information to block their central vision, we designed anchor signs where we anchor the action icon to the specific turn and also attach the distance information to the side of the path. So it's more like a street sign, and we put the sign every 10 feet along the path to help the user better understand their current position. And the low vision user can select one of these two design options to customize their visual experience during our study. Okay, so now we have designed both the visual and audio guidance to present the wayfinding instructions. But how would these feedback modalities affect a low vision user's experience in a real-world wayfinding task? To answer this question, we conducted a user study to compare the effect of the visual and audio guidance on the low vision people's wayfinding experiences. Now, what should we compare? What metrics should we measure? So first, of course, we want to compare the most basic wayfinding performance, which is the wayfinding time, to measure how fast a user can arrive at the destination using different modalities. And also, we want to compare how many errors people make during this navigation process, since we want to enable the user to always follow the right route when using the specific wayfinding guidance. But beyond these basic performance, there are some other factors that are also very important for a real-world wayfinding task. For example, a wayfinding task in the real life is not simply walking from one place to another. There are usually some distractions. For example, people may need to look for landmarks, pay attention to the obstacles, and also talk to others. So we want to make sure that the user still has extra cognitive capacity to deal with these distractions during the navigation. We thus want to explore which feedback modality requires less cognitive load, thus the user can pay more attention to their surrounding and other tasks. And moreover, in many situations, people may want to memorize the environment, especially the places that they would visit frequently, so that they could navigate the same area next time more easily and independently. So that we also compare the user's mental map of a route after one navigation to see which feedback modality can enable the user to better understand and memorize the specific environment. Well, our study measured all of these metrics. For the sake of time, I'll only focus on the wayfinding time and also cognitive load in this talk. So with these questions and metrics in mind, we conducted a user study with 16 low vision participants. We also introduced a secondary task as a distraction to measure the cognitive load of the different feedback modalities. And we used an N-bag task, which is a measure for people's working memory. In an N-bag task, participants need to monitor a series of stimuli and respond when the current stimulus matches the one that was presented N steps before in the series. And this type of task is often used in prior HCI research as a secondary task to induce cognitive load. Specifically, in our study, We designed a tactile version of the unback task on a smartwatch. And the reason we use the tactile stimuli is because we want to avoid conflicts with the audio and visual wayfinding guidance. We designed 3 vibration patterns as a stimuli in the unback task, and in each trial, we generated a series of vibration stimuli, and each stimulus was randomly selected from the 3 vibration patterns. And the participants were asked to tap on the smartwatch screen whenever the current vibration pattern matched the previous one, which is a one-back task. We asked each participant to conduct wayfinding tasks in 4 conditions, including the visual guidance without and with the secondary task, and the audio guidance with and without the secondary task. And participants conducted 2 trials for each condition. And for each trial, we asked the participants to follow the specific wayfinding guidance to get to their destination as quickly as possible with their typical walking speed. And for the condition with the secondary task, if the participants could not complete the 2 tasks at the same time, we asked them to prioritize the wayfinding task, which is the primary task. So based on our study, we actually found several very interesting results to inspire the future navigation system design. So first, about the wayfinding time. So in our study, well, we did not find any significant difference in wayfinding time between the 2 feedback modalities across all participants. But we find that for participants with full field of view in at least one of their eyes, they actually completed the wayfinding task significantly faster when they use the visual feedback as opposed to using the audio feedback. This is because, as opposed to the audio guidance that provided instructions for just the current step, the visual guidance provided an overview of future directions, which helped the participants better plan their steps in the navigation. But for participants who have limited field of view, they actually could not see all the virtual feedback altogether, for example, this virtual path, so that they are not able to benefit from this overview of the whole route. And in terms of the cognitive load, we find that participants had a significant better performance on the secondary task when using the visual guidance as opposed to the audio guidance. And this bar chart shows the participants' mean hit accuracy for the one-back task during the navigation. You can see that participants actually had a much higher accuracy for the secondary task when they used the visual feedback as opposed to they used the audio feedback, which means they had more ability to complete the secondary task with the visual feedback, so that the visual feedback required less cognitive load as opposed to the audio guidance. And moreover, at the end of our study, we also asked the participants whether and how they wanted to combine the visual and audio feedback to optimize their wayfinding experience. And this bar chart shows the distribution of participants' preferred modality for different wayfinding information, including the overview of the route, the specific action at each turn, the distance to the next turn, and also the destination information. And the blue represents the number of participants who selected the visual feedback to present the specific information, and the yellow represents the number of participants who selected the audio feedback. And we find that for most of wayfinding information, participants actually wanted to combine both of the modalities to optimize their experience. So these are the key findings from our study. And to answer our research question, we compared visual and audio wayfinding guidance on the smart glasses for people with low vision in different perspectives, such as the wayfinding time, the errors they made, and also the cognitive load. Well, the visual feedback seems to be the winner in all of these perspectives. But most participants still want to combine visual and audio feedback since they are more familiar with the audio feedback. So it is very important to combine these feedback and provide multimodal feedback to facilitate wayfinding tasks for people with low vision in the future navigation systems. So this is the major takeaway from our study. Thank you so much.